Hello there! In today's video I'm going to be painting my parasol. Leharc, BlueHeart. So I knew I wanted koi fish on my parasol, but before I started painting, I make sure to practice drawing in my sketchbook so that I don't screw up painting them too badly. And instead of going straight on with paint, I started to sketch out with a colored pencil. I thought that I would be able to erase the colored pencil, but no. Next time I do a design on a parasol though, I think I need to plan it a little better because I made the fish a bit too small. Anyway, I start by making the silhouette of the fish first, just in plain white to be like a base. And I just use normal acrylic paint that I got from Walmart. After I get all the fish blocked in, I get some very light yellow to start coloring the very first fish. It's kind of hard to see because the parasol's black and it did like a weird color lightness correction with my camera, so it got pretty washed out. Some shots are better to see than others, and I apologize. And I just start layering on more colors to create more dimension, stuff like that. Some pinkish color and some blues, and then I start outlining it with some red. I liked how the colored pencils looked with the red outline, so I wanted to replicate that as well in the painting. I use a little bit of blue as outline as well. This paint is kind of clumpy and it was kind of hard to get like a solid straight line without it being all wobbly looking. But anyway, I start to outline the scales. Oh, I almost forgot her back fin. But now I can start coloring her scales and giving her some patterns. I really like how koi fish have very random designs and lots of colors and stuff. It makes them really fun to draw. You can be more creative with it. You can do different designs and colors and still looks like a koi fish. It doesn't have to be super precise like a tiger or something. And after I finish the first fish, I use black paint to cover up all the colored pencil lines. I move on to the next fish that is going to be the blue fish. So I start using some blue and green to give the fish more dimension. And then I use blue this time to do the outline. I feel like the scale pattern really makes the fish look good. Like if they didn't have that pattern, it would look pretty plain. And I start adding some different colored scales again, this time focusing on blues and a little bit of green. And to finish this fish off, I add very strong red to its forehead and to touch up the edges with some black. Now I move on to the third fish. Now the first fish was like the really warm colored fish. And then the second fish was the really cool colored fish. And so the third fish, I try to blend the two more equally. So I add some blue and green again to add dimension, but instead of outlining the fish in blue, I outline it in red. And after I get all the scales in, I start to add the patterns. In this one, I want to do some orange, so do like a blotchy orange spot on the top of his face and some orange scales down his body. And I get some yellow to add dimension, sort of highlight the orange and make it look just a little more interesting. And then I also use it to add some yellow scales and details. And I use a little bit of orange to give those ones dimension, to shadow them a bit at the top of each scale. The colors of these koi fish I'm not trying to be realistic, but more just be visually nice. But anyway, I finally finished all the koi fish. And at this point realize, oh, the fish are kind of small. The edges of the parasol look kind of empty. I need to add something. So I decided I'm going to add a border. I wasn't sure exactly what kind of border, but I was going to add a border. And once I get the border all marked out, I get some tape to cover up the very edges of the, you know what these things are? I don't know what they're called, but these little things, I'm covering them up because I don't want to get paint on them. So I get a box and I cut a hole in it so I can put the parasol inside so it doesn't touch the ground. And I move all this into the bathroom because I don't want to get any paint on the carpet. And I just have a feeling that this part's going to be way messier than painting the fish. Wish me luck with this clumpy blue. So I decide I want to try doing a gradient blue border. So I start covering all the edges in blue is why I moved to the bathroom. Thank goodness. So I paint all around the parasol, and I kind of start to get nervous because I'm like, this looks awful. I hope this doesn't look awful in the end. But then I get all the way around and I'm like, oh my gosh, this still looks awful and I hate it. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe I should add like a little bit of some green into the border, and it will give it more of a watery feel, because water is not like perfectly blue, it's got some green in it. I don't know, I thought just maybe it might just help because it just looked tacky. And I'm like, oh, this is looking awful still. Hopefully it looks better when I get all the way around. And then it just looked bad. So I was like, okay, you know what? We're going to get a bunch of black and we're going to cover most of this up. I think it's good that the green was under there though. It gives the gradient a little bit more dimension, especially when you're out in the sun and can see it. But yeah. Here's what it looks like underneath. I think I need to paint all this part black to make it not look weird. So that's what I do. I start painting more of it black so it's not transparent anymore. I look underneath and I see, okay, the top part being still transparent still looks weird, so I decided to paint just the whole thing as much as I could all black. And I feel like that will make it more sun protected, which is why I have this umbrella in the first place, to not get sunburned or not just feel super hot and stuff like that. But anyway, after that, I'm pretty satisfied with how it looks underneath. So now it is time to take it outside to seal it up. Ooh. I have this UV resistant clear protection spray. Hopefully it works good. I spray on a whole bunch. Why is there raindrops on it? It's literally sunny. Look how sunny it is. So sunny. It's raining on my umbrella. Unbelievable. Okay, I put it under a little roof thing. Hopefully safe now. And these water droplets evaporate or something. I'm worried they're sealed into it now. Okay, that like wiped off. I'm gonna do a few more coats. Hopefully it'll be good. Now I can finally take off these little protection sticky tabs. And now the parasol is all finished. And I can use it on my walks and not die from the sun anymore. Also, let me know if I start making more of these and selling them in my Etsy shop if you would like to buy one. Because if nobody wants any, then I'm not going to make more. I'm still looking into the best place to get these Japanese umbrellas, like being good quality but still a decent price, to then paint them and resell them so that I don't have to charge like so much money per parasol. So yeah, let me know what you think. I hope you enjoyed this video and are having a super great day. I will see you another time. Bye bye.